How is it going, everybody? You're watching Then About Tech. So let's say you updated your iPhone to iOS 15, but you regret it. Maybe the performance is not so good, it's a little bit buggy, some of the apps that you use are not really compatible or not really working that well, or maybe some of the new features are not compatible with your older iPhone, because as you may know, most of the new features in iOS 15 are only compatible with the iPhone XS and newer. So you want to go back. You want to go back to iOS 14, to the latest stable version of iOS 14, which is 14.8 right now, but it may be 14.8.1 or later. All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to teach you how to downgrade iOS 15 to iOS 14. Let's go. So in order to downgrade your iPhone from iOS 15 to iOS 14, you will need a computer, as you can see. But don't worry, because it doesn't have to be a Mac like I'm using. If you're using a Windows PC, it'll work the same way. So the good thing about this process is that everyone can do it. On top of that, you don't even need to use your computer. You can borrow a computer as well. It'll work in any scenario. Now, if you're using a Windows PC, you will need to download iTunes. So I have a download link, a direct download link in the description. So download iTunes, install it, and then you're ready. If you have a Mac, you don't need to download any software. So now that we're all set, all you gotta do is open up your browser and download iOS 14. As I said before, right now we are in iOS 14.8, but this will work on any of the latest versions of iOS 14. It'll always work, okay? In order to do that, we're gonna go to ipsw.me. I'll also have the link in the description to this website. And I guarantee the best way to do this is downloading the IPSW file, so the firmware iOS itself before, it'll be much easier later, all right? So go ahead and click on iPhone, since we're doing this on an iPhone, but of course this works on iPads as well. Close if you have any ads, and then look for your model. In my case, it'll be an iPhone 12 Pro Max. Click on that. And then, as you can see here, we will have two signed versions of iOS, two IPSWs. We'll have the latest version of iOS 15, which right now is 15.0, which is probably the version you have on your iPhone right now. And then we'll have the latest version of iOS 14, because Apple will keep signing both versions, okay? Latest of iOS 15 and latest of iOS 14. As I said, 14.8, so that's the one. Click here to download it, and then go ahead and download. Keep in mind that it only works on the latest version. Don't go ahead and download any older version of iOS 14, like any unsigned version. It won't work, only the green links as we did before. All right, so it'll start downloading. I naturally already have a download, so I'll just cancel that. Then I'll go to my downloads folder and I'll get the file right here, which is this one, and I'll put it in the desktop. Okay, I do recommend that you put it in your desktop. It'll be much easier for the following process. Now we can close IPSW. We don't need that anymore, and we have our iOS 14 right here. And now is the part where we actually gonna connect our iPhone to the computer. Again, Windows or Mac, it doesn't matter. So grab your authentic original Apple cable, connect one end to the computer, and the other end, as you can imagine, you're gonna connect to the iPhone, okay? Make sure it's charging, so it's connected and recognized. If it asks for a passcode, you can allow, trust, and put on your passcode. And we'll actually need to do one simple quick thing here on the iPhone before we actually go ahead and downgrade. So go to your settings, and then we're gonna go to Apple ID at the top, then Find My, as you can see, and then you will need to go to Find My iPhone, and then disable Find My iPhone. The only way to do this process is by disabling Find My iPhone, and you're gonna need to type in your passcode for your Apple ID. So type it in and then turn off. So turn it off and wait for it to turn off. Wait a second, turn it off, as you can see, and now Find My is completely off and you're done. You don't need to touch the iPhone anymore. Just put it on the table. Don't touch it anymore. Don't touch the cable. Don't play with it. Everything will be done here on the computer, okay? So now that the iPhone is connected, you're gonna open, depending on your computer, either Finder or iTunes. So if you have a Mac, and it's updated to macOS Catalina and newer, you're going to open up Finder. If you have a Mac and it's earlier, it's not really updated, you go ahead and open up iTunes on your Mac. And if you have a Windows PC, you always open iTunes. Okay, so open your software that you're going to use. In my case, it'll be Finder, and then click on your iPhone. In my case, Daniel's iPhone. As you guys can see here, I'll just enlarge it a little bit, and it's asking me to trust the device, as I mentioned before. So trust. It's gonna ask here on my iPhone to trust the computer. I'll go ahead and trust, and then type in the passcode, and then tap on OK. And then the device has trusted, they trust each other now, if you know what I mean. And now we can use, you can see everything, and we can manage our iPhone from the computer. And now is where the downgrade process will start, because what we're gonna do is actually restore the iPhone. And as we can imagine, when we restore an iPhone, we are deleting all of its data. We are resetting it to the factory settings, and unfortunately that's the only way to do it. So you will lose all your data unless you have a compatible iOS 14 backup. You probably do have it, so don't worry too much. But keep in mind that if you don't have an iOS 14 backup, you will lose your data. Unfortunately, that's the only way to do it. But instead of just clicking on restore, because if we do that, we're going to restore to iOS 15, what we're going to need is to click while pressing a key on the keyboard. Okay, if you're doing this on a Mac, you're going to click on the Option key, as you guys can see here, and then you're going to click on restore. If you're doing this on a Windows PC, you'll be clicking on the Shift key, and then click on restore, as I'm doing on a Mac. So Option, as you can see, I'm pressing the key, and then restore. And as you can see, a little window will pop up, and then I can select the file that we have downloaded. So iOS 14.8, click here, open it up, and then it'll say that it will erase all data and restore to iOS 14. That's exactly what we want. So click on restore. And then wait a second, because your Mac is preparing to restore the software. Keep in mind that now all you gotta do is wait. You don't need to click on anything on the computer, and you don't need to click or tap or play with anything on your iPhone. Just leave your iPhone on the desk, let it do its thing, don't touch anything, and in a few minutes, it'll be ready. Let's wait. And just to be very clear, as you can see, my iPhone is on iOS 15.0. It's on 15.0, and you'll see that after this is done, it will be in 14.8. And so, as you can see, iTunes or Finder will give you this pop-up saying that your iPhone has been restored to factory settings and it's restarting. Please leave your iPhone connected. So as you guys can see, even though it's finished, leave it connected because it's still doing its thing, as you guys can see right here. So leave it connected. You can click on OK, but let your iPhone finish the process, and then just a few seconds, I'll be back. And then, as you can see, your iPhone will give you the hello screen, and when you see the hello screen, you can actually remove the cable. You don't need to be connected anymore, and now it's just a matter of actually setting up your iPhone as you would. So put your language, your country, all your information, your Apple ID, and then if you have a backup, as I mentioned before, that's the time where it will actually recover the backup, and after all of that setup, you'll see that you are in iOS 14.8 or later, depending on when you're watching this video. I'll actually do it right now very quickly to show you that it works. And so, as you can see, after setting up the iPhone, I can go to my settings, and then I can go to General, About, and you'll see that I'm in software version 14.8. So downgraded successfully, everything is as I wanted, back to iOS 14.8, not iOS 15 anymore, right? So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys, how to downgrade from iOS 15 to 14, the easiest way that always works, extremely stable, no problems, no drama, all right? So if you like this video, I'd please ask you to hit the like button down below and help us so much reach more and more people and make this channel more relevant. On top of that, click on the subscribe button and the little bell icon to get notified whenever we post a new video. And also, last but not least, hit the comment box down below and tell me your feedback about this video and the channel as a whole. I always do appreciate what you have to say. All right, so that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys in my next video as usual. Bye bye.